Hello, my name is Justin Chang, and I'm here to talk about my reflections about the 5 lessons that I did in this class. All right, so just gonna combine all 5 of the lessons all into one, more or less. Just a little background. The school that I observed at was Pomona High School, located at 475 Banger Street, Pomona, California, which is right off town. The demographic of the school happens to be 86% Hispanic, 9% Black, and 5% other, or which was like what, 1% white, 2% Asian, and the 3% were just like other mixed. Overall, the school has a total of 1,286 students. But the teacher that I was observing was Mr. Aviles, and he had been teaching for over 18 years. His classroom was pretty large. It had all the classroom facilities of a chemistry classroom, right? It had gas, water, sinks, faucets. He usually had it to be very dark. He covered the windows with screens, so that way he could tell when students were using like their cell phones, because he could see the light. Sometimes he would have music playing. He also had speakers set up. He had 2 screens, actually, which he actually set up himself, which I thought was really neat to have. For the lessons 1, 2, and 3, I was teaching mole ratios, going from moles to grams, moles to molecules, and moles to liters. And what I thought went well was that students were generally becoming more and more responsive as I began to teach them. Like at first they would hesitate, but as things went on, they got used to me and were very engaged, I'd say. One thing that I thought was really well in the lesson I taught was that it was kind of hands-on, meaning I had them write up note cards, and on these note cards they would have the mole conversions, right? Where it'd be like 1 mole is to the molar mass, or molar mass is to 1 mole, and I would ask them, like, all right, which cards do we need to use in this kind of problem? Should we use the one where the molar mass is on the bottom, or do we use the one where mole is on the bottom, right? To really show them, like, okay, sometimes we use the one with moles on the bottom because we need the units to cancel out, right? What I thought could have been better in lessons 1, 2, and 3 was that my pacing might have been a little bit fast. I needed to really organize my thoughts and write neater beforehand when I write on paper, and also to check for understanding, meaning like look up. When you're writing down these notes or explaining the problem, I need to look up and check whether they're actually paying attention and getting it. Things like that nature, which I thought could have been done better in my lessons. Yeah, and the focus students in his class, there weren't a lot of many special needs per se, you could say. The ones that I found was that a student had poor eyesight. Most of his students were ESL, and the one that when they have ELL level of lower intermediate. So to create strategies to adapt to them would be to use things like bolded lettering, highlighting, also having lecture notes available online for students to use so they could see it and go at their own pace on their own netbooks, which his class has. The poor eyesight, the adaptations for that would have been to allow the student to move closer when needed, or have them closer due to the seating chart, also use bigger fonts, highlighting, and again, having lecture notes available for students to see on their netbooks. All right. By lesson 4, I would say I finally found my quote-unquote teacher's voice. I was told maybe that my voice was a little bit soft, and that I might have been just teaching to the first like 2 rows of the students, so I felt more confident in my teaching after I found my teacher's voice. I was really projecting all the way to the back. But what I've could have gone better was that I did make a few mistakes while I was teaching. I assumed what they were telling me was correct. So I found out that I should double check all of my work beforehand before I show it to them, just to make sure that what they say and what I know is right is the correct answer. Alright, and oh yeah, lesson 4 was about mole ratios, learning how to balance equations and going from like moles of hydrogen to moles of oxygen when you're creating water, like H2O. Alright, in lesson 5, it was actually finally using this mole ratio that I taught in lesson 4, from going from one substance to actually another. Now, before in lessons 1 and 2, they're converting the same unit to a different unit, right? There's like going from like liters of soda to like grams of soda. But now in lesson 5, it was about going from like grams of soda to like grams of pizza to make a meal kind of thing. And what I thought was beneficial or good in this lesson was that I tried to incorporate technology for like quizzes, things like that. Students were more engaged and they're quite competitive, which I thought was good. Some things I need to work on still are being neater, being more organized, and I guess finding better analogies for certain things that they could actually understand the topic going on. The best one that I found so far was about using like sandwiches, saying how like, oh, if you have 2 slices of bread and 3 slices of turkey, that makes 1 sandwich. How many sandwiches can I make if I had 10 slices of bread? Something like that, because you don't really see a lot of like going from like 4 wheels plus 2 door handles equals like 1 car. You don't really say that a lot, but that's exactly what mole ratios do for us in chemistry. So that's something I think I need to work on. This was my reflection. I think overall my lessons went very well, and I hope you guys do well in your own teachings as well. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.